BMRforum.com and BMRodds.com. What is going on, boys? What is going on? Welcome back to episode number 36 of The Lobby. As always, our guest, Donnie Rightside. What's up, Donnie?
Hey, man, feeling good. Major League Baseball full swing here. 4 elimination games on the docket today. Could we have 4 more elimination games tomorrow? But it looks like one team on the verge of getting eliminated as we watch right now, and that is the Rays, down 4-0. But I'm ready, man. This is great. All these sports colliding at once. You can't beat it. You can't.
Yeah, it's a great time of the year. You know, it was posted in the forum today. I think we have, I think it was like 60 or 90 days straight of football, college,
48.
and
I think
NFL.
it was 48, isn't it?
Something like that. 48,
awesome,
50,
That's
somewhere right
crazy.
about there. That's a great time to be a sports fan. Great time, you know, getting into hockey, getting into basketball. You got playoff baseball, you got NFL, you got tennis. I mean, a great time right now to be a sports fan. And then moving on to the man who resembles Jimmy Butler. Sam's in charge. Sammy, I'm not feeling the perm look. Not at all.
I mean, if millionaires can do it, why can't I do it?
That sells cars, man.
That it does. What's going on, Sam? How you doing today?
Not too much. Beautiful day in upstate. I'm actually taking a little bit of advice from you, Bobby. You got me that casino video. It got me itching. So after the podcast, I'm probably going to the casino. Be down there. I don't know, maybe 5:36ish, and see what I can do tonight.
All right, good luck. Let's get some videos and pictures in the casino. What do you go to Turning Stone over there?
No, I'll actually go to Rivers Casino in Schenectady. It's about 20 minutes away from me.
Okay.
Turning Stone's about an hour, 45 minutes.
Okay.
It's funny because, I'm 20 minutes away from a casino and I'm there like 3 times a year. You think I'd be there all the time, but online gambling, I don't need to go to the sports book and
right.
Yeah.
Take advantage. You got the itch on me, so I'm gonna go.
All right. Well, good luck. Hopefully you make some money over there. Let's jump right into baseball. Start off with you, Donnie. I know there's a Rangers and Rays game going on right now. What else do you got for the late games? Mostly afternoon games today. What do you got for us?
We've got a game going on right now, and obviously this is probably going to be post, but the Rangers looks like might be able to move on here up 4-0. We'll see if we can mount a comeback. But as Bobby said before the camera started, it's early. We'll see if those Rays can come back. Barrios and Gray, I actually like Minnesota again today. Liked them yesterday. I think they handled their business. Gray's been really good. It's a -144 price to -140, depending on where you're shopping at. Arizona, Milwaukee, Gallen, Peralta, 2 aces on the mound. That total is 7.5. I like the under in that game. And then I like the Philadelphia Phillies later on tonight. Price isn't that expensive. A -146 to -145, depending on where you're shopping. Aaron Nola on the mound versus Garrett. I do believe the Phillies are the better team. Believe that yesterday and picked up the victory there. So that's what I'm looking forward to. I love it, man. 4-day. Who's going to complain about 4 games on a Tuesday and a Wednesday, and then probably a couple more tomorrow for elimination action? It's great stuff.
It is great stuff. Sammy, what do you got for us, Lazaman?
Yeah, I love the fact that the wild card round is best 2 out of 3 now as well. I hated the fact that
gives
it was
a little more action
for the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Not necessarily for the action. Sometimes I think about it from the players and the fans' perspective. Just playing 162 games, the longest season in any in any athletic sport, and to determine the wild card in one game was really unfair. So I'm happy that they did 2 out of 3. Right now, I have the Rays for my streak of fortune. I'm on to day 3, so we'll see what happens with there. And then this afternoon, this evening, I do like the Twins. Congratulations to them. First win in 17 years or something.
Quite a while.
17, 18 games.
Amazing.
So happy for them. Happy for their fan base. I think they're going to win tonight and make it to that next round. So pretty excited for them. And I like your guys' team. I like the Phillies as well. I like their future prospects as well for the future going forward. There's actually a local guy, Jeff Hoffman. He graduated a few years below me, a local guy in our area that's pitching for them.
Last night.
Playing pretty well for them right now as a middle reliever. So, I'm rooting for Phillies since the Yankees are nowhere to be found.
Unfortunately, that was pretty wild. Red Sox, Yankees, and the Cardinals, now making the playoffs for the first time in something like 25 or 30 years.
Yeah,
crazy.
And the Padres, all the top budgets.
Yeah. It just goes to show you, you could buy and have big budgets, and you could still not get the job done.
It's like Daniel Jones,
Yep. Segue. But let's just finish up with the baseball real quick, since we were bringing up the Rays, bringing up the baseball. I don't know if you guys saw the smallest crowd at an MLB playoff game at the Rays game yesterday, 19,704 people. I mean, I get that people go to work. I get that people go to school. But if you're a Rays fan, if you're a baseball fan, playoff fan in general, why would you not be going to a playoff game? And I believe it was Tanko that brought it up in one of the threads. Tickets are only like $29-30. So, I mean, if you're a fan, why would you not be going to these games? It doesn't make much sense to me.
Yeah, I agree on that one. When it comes to a local team in your local city, you work a half day. You take your kids out of school a little bit early. If your kids are fans, or if you have kids that are playing Little League games, I know a couple, I'm 33 now, so I'm at the age now where I have friends that now have kids that are 8, 9, 10 years old. I know, the New York Jets, the New York Giants, they're 3.5 hours away at MetLife Stadium. I know people that take their kids out of school, maybe a half day. They go down to the game on Monday night, or they'll take them on Sunday night, maybe take them out. School is important. I'm not knocking that. But if your kids are playing Little League baseball, they're probably going to be into Major League Baseball. So to take them to the playoff game, to have that experience, that's a family moment. That's a bonding moment. That's an experience, that they're not going to forget. So that's really disappointing from the Rays crowd, from the Rays fan base, and you hope that they just do better.
Yeah, and you know what? I think part of it's on Major League Baseball as well. I mean, with scheduling these games, especially during the week, they should have evening games during the week. If you want to have the day games on the weekend when you can have fans actually attend these games.
Well, I think the difference on this is that you want to spread out the games. So you don't want 4 playoff games between 7 and 9. You want the fans to be able to watch as much of the game as possible. The only difference maybe is to rotate the schedule, but then you got West Coast versus East Coast. You can't make a West Coast team play at 3 o'clock, which is really 12 o'clock. So to put them in that 7 o'clock time slot is really 4 o'clock. So, they're working
There's
with
a lot of
West Coast. There's a lot of variables that go into it. I don't think scheduling's a problem. I think it's just bad fan base.
Unfortunately. And speaking of fan base, speaking of memories, guys, what is your best playoff memory? I'll give you mine. Donnie, you're really going to appreciate this one.
Mm-hmm.
October 6th, of 2010. Roy Halladay, I'm in attendance. Roy Halladay pitches that no-hitter in Game 1 of the NLDS. I was there. It was great. I think I have some pictures or videos I'm going to post down below in this thread. But that was a great, great memory. Me and my father went to the game, and, 2010, I still remember it here 13, 14 years later. Donnie, what's your favorite playoff game memory, baseball or otherwise?
Yeah, I'll give you a favorite, and I'll give you a disastrous day. It was the season of 2002, which was early January of 2003. Last game, Veterans Stadium, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles scored right away to go up 7-0, a team that we relentlessly pounded for years in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who never can win in the freezing cold, won in the freezing cold. I believe I was a zombie for the next 2 weeks in disbelief that the Eagles lost. 2 years later, probably the best was the NFC Championship game at home in Lincoln Financial Field. Michael Vick and the Atlanta Falcons came in, and the Eagles finally got over the hump after 3 straight losses in the NFC Championship game. There are other good ones, too. Most of them, those Eagles. I've been to a couple Sixers games, but the Eagles versus the Vikings in 2017 was fantastic as well. They get down 7-0, and then it was a party the rest of the way. So had some good times with me and my pops at some Eagles games over the years, particularly the championship games. They were so much fun.
Very nice. Sammy, on to you. What do you got? Playoff memories at games, not at games, betting wise. What do you got?
Yeah, you threw me on the spot a few minutes before this. I didn't really have much time to prepare. I know my personal teams haven't been winning the last decade. I am a Yankee fan. Their last title is in the early thousands, 2008, 2009. Right. Cowboys, I can give you countless stories on how many losses and playoff losses. I'm going to go back to when I was a fan and I played for the Siena Saints pep band in high school. So Siena Saints is a small D1 college school, but I played for their pep band in high school because they don't have a music program. So when they made it to the March Madness, I got to storm the court with the players, with the cheerleaders, with the fans.
Wow. I
touched Jay Billis's shoulder. So that was pretty cool as a high school kid. I then got to travel to Florida, and they won their first round match. They lost in the second round of the tournament. And then San Diego State didn't have a band. They hired us for their second round game, paid us cash. So here I am, a 17-year-old high school kid being paid $35 a game to go sit courtside, play trumpet, go to these games as a fan, as a student. That was pretty cool. So I'm going to go with that.
That's good.
Awesome, awesome. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think your face is on a ticket somewhere.
That's right. Yeah, that was a random moment. Again, I sat courtside every single home game, so I never had to buy tickets. And randomly, someone, one of my friends said, "I think your face is on a ticket." I know I've posted the image. I might post it in here.
Yes, yeah, please do. Please do.
It's completely painted, and like I'm holding the trumpet. And I have the ticket in one of my lock boxes or something.
Rocking the Times Union Center.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Sammy, let's jump right into you with tennis. How's the court looking? What do you got? What's the thread up to? We making money here?
Yeah, tennis doing good this week. I'm up 31 units. Congrats, Jannik Sinner, on his title this morning or this evening in China, defeating Daniel Medvedev for the first time out of 7 attempts. That's Sinner's 9th title, and he's now number 4 in the world. And then you got a Master 1000 starting for the men's side. And the women's side, they're just about to hit the quarterfinals of their Master 1000. World number 2 now, Iga Swiatek is dominating right now. And then you got Rybakina that's in there. Rybakina is likely to set up against world number 1, Sabalenka, in the quarterfinals, which is going to be a rematch of the Australian Open finals. And then Coco Gauff, Kerry Coco, 14-match win streak coming off that U.S. Open title, her first Grand Slam. She's rolling, and if she wins her next match, she's setting up against a semifinal match against Iga, which would be the 4th time this year in the semifinals. So women's events is rolling really good. The men's events is going really good. We got a few weeks left until the WTA and ATP finals, and then in that December month, you got a few weeks off until they go back into the Australia. But tennis really never stops.
Awesome. What's the record now in the threat?
We got 746 and 611.
All right. Awesome.
We're still hitting, 57, 58%.
Keep moving.
Winning record. That's all it takes. That's all it takes. Very nice. Donnie, let's jump over to you. How was your week 4 in the NFL? Give me a couple highlights, and then give me a few things you got popping in week 5 here.
Yeah, it was pretty good this week. Outside of one real bad play was the Cincinnati Bengals team total over 20.
Yeah, I think that hurt a lot of people.
Game. They were absolutely disastrous. I figured that, okay, this might be the healthiest Burrow will be. Clearly not. They got abolished in that game. They got smashed. But if we're taking a look at the pool last week, did go 4-3, but you said, okay, that's a decent week. You'll take that. But I hit my 7, 6, and 5 picks, including in those 4. So that helped me out. So if we're looking at the standings there, tied for 6th place, 18-10 overall in the season, perfectly within striking distance overall. But I think watching the games is just how bad, like maybe the Giants actually are at this point with Daniel Jones and absolutely no offensive line, no wide receivers or tight ends stepping up for him, a banged up backfield. They got to go on the road this weekend to take on the Miami Dolphins. We'll probably talk about that in a little bit. But overall, we're probably looking at the 2 undefeated teams left in the NFL, both in the NFC, the 49ers and the Eagles. And this weekend's game, fantastic. Sunday Night Football, that should be a winner with the 49ers and the Cowboys. So looking forward to it this week. Hanging around in the pool, trying to keep myself around that top 5 and getting striking distance there.
All right, Sammy, how was your week 4? What do you got? Highlights in week 5? What do you got for us? Who do you like?
Yeah, so week 4, I went 6-1 in the pick 7, but ironically, I lost my number 7 confidence, which was the Philadelphia Phillies or Philadelphia Eagles. Luckily, they won for my eliminator, but so Donnie that went 4-3 actually ranked higher than me, and I went 6-1.
Wow, crazy.
Now, however, from a gambling standpoint, going 6-1 wins you a lot of money. So I had a profitable week. Betting just didn't really necessarily work out on the pick 7. But that's all right. Winning money on a weekly basis is definitely going to work for me. The Bills are announcing themselves as, hey, Miami's not the best team in the AFC East. Yeah. Remember, we're still coming to play. We've won. We've been there for the last 3-4 years. The Giants are just a horrible team, and the national TV games for the last 3 weeks have been some of the worst football games that the NFL can produce. And unfortunately, we're hit with that Thursday night football game tomorrow, the Bears and Washington, just on paper, an abysmal game to think about. But in the end of the day, it's the NFL. The worst NFL game is still going to have higher ratings than an NBA Finals game. So even though this game is horrible on paper, I'm still going to watch. I'm still going to have money on it. I'm going to have fantasy into it. But like Donnie said, we are highlighted with a big Sunday night football game with the Cowboys in San Fran. Yeah. So I'm very excited for that game, of course. Yep. I mean, you'd be an idiot not to be excited for that.
Yep. Exactly. And jumping over to NFL week number 4 winners. Congratulations to these 5. Achilles, Daniels SP, Fried Cheese, Big J, and Pie Mike. Congratulations to all you guys for making the top 5 leaderboard for week number 4, and best of luck moving forward in week number 5.
And actually, 4 of those guys went 7-0. So shout out to those guys that went 7-0.
Yes,
Big
7-0.
Big J's got a 7-point lead overall in first place. So Big J's got and Big J's winning Carolina Kids contest as well for $500.
Yes, Big J is really doing good. Shout out to Big J.
You're trying to cheat a little bit. Go follow him.
Jumping into Eliminator, Sammy. How's the Eliminator looking?
Yeah, we are still alive. I had the Eagles last week. It wasn't pretty, but survive in advance.
Hey, that's all that matters. It doesn't matter how you got it done. You got it done.
So this week, the strategy, or not really this week, the next few weeks, the strategy is to fade the Chicago Bears and to fade the New York Giants. They're just really bad teams, right?
Right.
So this week, like Donnie mentioned, I'm rolling with Miami. Miami's an 11-point favorite at home. Miami got spanked this past week. I think Miami's going to come back to form. Their offense is going to be clicking. And what better team than to get your team back together than playing the Giants? And then, looking ahead to next week, week 6, the Giants are on the road to the Buffalo Bills, who will be coming off of a London game. The Bills will likely be, 9-10-point favorites as well. So I'm looking at those 2 teams for the next 2 weeks in the Eliminator. And
I know you're
as well, right?
I know you're fading the Giants here and you're fading the Bears, but what about, looking ahead to save the Dolphins and save the Bills for future picks?
Yeah, I mean, there's always that strategy. Looking at this week, there's not a ton of teams that are, great choices. You try and wait to those later weeks to take those 3 or 4 point spreads. You try and find a team that's 7+ points.
Right.
I don't necessarily love the Bills. They are 6.5 to the Jaguars, but they're on a neutral field. And if anything, it's more of a home game for the Jaguars than it is for the Bills because they're London's unofficial home team. So, just because they're a 7-point spread, I don't necessarily love it. Obviously they dominated last week. The Jags are 2-2, but from an eliminator standpoint, I could, I don't know. I'm a lot more confident taking Miami than I would taking the Bills.
All right. Eliminator for you, Donnie. How's that looking? You alive anywhere?
Yeah, looking good. First week, I used the Ravens. Second week, the Bills.
Right.
Third week, the Niners. Fourth week, the Eagles, which was a sweat. And as you know, in the Eliminator, Jake Elliott doesn't make that field goal. Say, okay, well, the Eagles don't lose. Well, you have to win the game in the Eliminator. You get a tie, you're knocked out of the competition here. So thank goodness that 50-plus yard field goal did go through and they hung on in that game. I'm going with the Dolphins, too. And it just comes to the point, and I'm just trying not to outsmart myself. I see a free win on the board. I'm going to take it, even though you're right. You say, you know what, save the Dolphins for later down the line. Then I go Detroit, and Carolina shows up and beats Detroit. And I go, well, what the heck? Miami just roasted the Giants by 2+ touchdowns here. Why did I pass that up? Because you are going to get some of these teams that you're not going to expect being massive point spread favorites just by injuries down the line. You might say to yourself, like, oh, man, I didn't use, the Buffalo Bills, or I didn't use the Rams. Now the Rams are, 14-point favorites over Arizona late in the season, where you're like, oh, now I get to use them at that point. So I'm just playing paint by numbers, and it's working out really well, and I'm not going to change the strategy.
All right. And speaking of contests, guys, still plenty of time to jump into tonight's MLB contest. Get yourself some bowler coins. Pretty simple here, guys. Diamondbacks and Brewers going off at 7:08 Eastern time. Just go in LT Profits threat and answer these 5 questions along with the bonus question. Get yourself a chance at some free bowler coins, guys. Not to mention, speaking of free baller coins, and Donnie, I hope to see you in this again. Sammy, I hope to see you in this week. Poker. Make sure you jump in our poker game this Saturday, guys, 8 o'clock Eastern time. Feel free to shoot me a message, comment down in my poker thread if you're interested in playing some poker, hanging out, and ultimately winning some valuable baller coins. Now, Sammy, how's the Streak of Fortune looking?
Yeah, so Streak of Fortune, I am on to day 3. It looks like there are 4 competitors or 4 entries that are survived to day 3. Right now, I currently have the Rays. It's now 5-0.
5-0. Yeah. So I just saw that, unfortunately.
Yeah, so they're down 5-0, bottom of the 5th. It's not looking great.
It's still early. Bottom 5. I mean, hey, it's not like it's 20-0. It's 5-0.
But here's the great thing: I've put 0 money into this, so it's a free contest. It is free contest. It is free contest. What are you doing? It is $500 for free. So even though the Rays are losing, I did not put any money onto it personally. I just took them in a contest. It is free. What are you doing? Log on to Twitter, follow Bookmaker Reviews at BMR Reviews. Every Monday they've been doing it for the last, 8 to 10 weeks. We've had a couple winners throughout. Donnie made it to Thursday and got really screwed.
We got robbed.
Last week. We got robbed. I'm on day 3 today, not looking great, but guess what? Monday resets it. So what are you doing? Sign up.
Exactly. Donnie, how's the Streak of Fortune looking for you this week? You still alive?
Nope, not alive here. Lost on the Rays yesterday. But again, last week, like we get into Thursday, the 2-0 lead with the Rangers. Even gets to the bottom of the ninth inning, 2 outs, couple guys on. Just get one more out, double down the line. Nothing you can do about that one. And actually, the worst part about it was the game I had lined up Friday was a winner too. So it always happens. It's so hard to get 5 in a row. It really is.
It is. But hey, 5 in a row, get you $500 for doing nothing, not putting up any money. So like Sammy said, guys, make sure you jump into that. Speaking of contest, guys, let's go. Quick shout out to our top 5 in our college football pick'em. Hoss Wilbur, number 1, Cala 56, number 2, Hawkwind, number 3, Lex Icon, number 4. Sam's in charge at number 5. Sammy coming in the top 5, buddy.
Not bad. Although there's a lot of discrepancy there too, because Hoss Wilbur was 7-0, so he scored 28 points, and I was sitting there with 18 points. So not a great performance overall in college. I mean, college is obviously a lot tougher than it is in NFL.
Yes, it is.
Hoss Wilbur with 7-0, that's huge, and that's going to help him in the overall rankings. I'm still flirting. I'm in the top 40. I'm cracked around 39th place right now in college. And then we'll get into our NFL picks.
All right. Yeah, I was just going to say, Sammy, let's jump into that. Give me your top 7 NFL. What do you got? Yeah. What do you like? And
again, just like last week, making these picks on Wednesday. I know for a fact last week on the pod, I talked about taking the Colts. And then on Sunday, that line changed 2 points, and I took them off. And obviously I picked another team that ended up winning.
Of course.
So right now, what I have is Miami at my number 7. For obvious reasons, we pretty much already discussed. Miami back at home, high-scoring offense, Giants, arguably top 3 worst team in the league right now. Sitting at number 6, I actually like Arizona plus 3.5 at home to Cincinnati. Couple reasons. Arizona has been competitive in all 4 of their games. Now, they lost by 19 points last week to San Fran, but they were down by 5 going into the 4th quarter, and San Fran is a top 3 team in the league. So to be within 5 points, they was closer than the score shows. Cincinnati clearly isn't there. Joe Burrow clearly isn't there. He really only has one option when he's throwing the ball. He's not looking at the second and third option. He's trying to get that ball out of his hands as quick as possible. And the best part is I'm not even saying Arizona has to win. Just lose by a field goal. We get the hook here with that plus 3.5. So I'm going to be taking Arizona at my 6. Sitting at 5, I have the Houston Texans plus 1.5 at Atlanta. Now, the AFC South is interesting. All 4 teams are 2-2. So these next few weeks are real important, and you do have a divisional matchup with Indianapolis playing home to the Titans. So they're all sitting at 2-2. CJ Stroud has 0 turnovers this year, 6 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Desmond Ridder is a turnover machine on the opposite end. So right now, I do like Houston. They got a little momentum going, so I'm taking them at the 5. I do like Indy at home. I said that last week. They were down 23-0. They came back. They lost in overtime. Tough loss. They came back too late. They didn't play all 4 quarters. If they play all 4 quarters against the Titans, again, the Titans beat up a really weak Cincinnati team last week, and Derrick Henry went into beast mode, throwing a touchdown and running a touchdown. But I'd like Indianapolis at home. I think they have more talent, so I'm going to be taking them at 4. And then some other teams I'm flirting with right now is the Vikings plus 5.5 against the Chiefs. I think that can be a real high-scoring game and a great opportunity for the Vikings to get a backdoor cover. Down by 10, down by 11 points, get that late touchdown. That doesn't matter, but it matters for the spread. And I also like Baltimore minus 3.5. They're just quietly just doing their job. Granted, they beat a Deshaun Watson-less Browns last week. They did what they're supposed to do. So you can't help who you're playing. You can't help who's injured. You're just supposed to do what your job is. And so far, Baltimore's just been doing their job. So that's who I'm looking at right now for this coming week.
All right, Donnie, what is your 7 for this week? What do you like?
Yeah, a couple differences there for Sam starting. Again, no particular order. I like to pick my games out on Wednesday and say to myself, okay, where are we going to shuffle these during the weekend? And the same thing that Sam did last week. I had one of my higher rated picks last week being the Cleveland Browns. But obviously, once I saw Deshaun Watson's out, got out of that pick, changed some things around. So I was able to get the 7-6-5 combination last week because I would have lost, I think it was my number 6 overall, which would have been Cleveland. So that certainly helped out quite a bit. But if we're looking here at the raw, I like Tennessee. I like the way they stack up against Indianapolis this weekend. It'll be a low, strong, hard-fought game, both great running games, particularly the running quarterback there of Richardson, and also, as we know, Tennessee has Derrick Henry. I like the New England Patriots to bounce back at home against the Saints. It's not even that I like the Patriots. I thought they were terrible last week, but I just don't trust the New Orleans Saints. I know the Saints have a really good defense. The Patriots will be okay. I'm just trusting the Patriots at home being able to pick up that victory. We'll see how that changes during the week. Miami minus 10.5 against the Giants. I just think they smoke them. I don't know why the line's only 10.5, but that's obviously what the metrics go into it. The Giants are at their low point of the season and ultimately injured here. I don't think they survived in worst case scenario last week. Buffalo pasted Miami. They're going to be angry at home and take out their frustrations there, certainly on the Giants. Philadelphia Eagles minus 4.5. I think they'll handle their business against the Rams this weekend. I'm going to go take the Jets on the road against the Denver Broncos. I think the Jets defense is better. Zach Wilson finally played a defense he can move the football. This weekend's Denver team, guys, they're not that good on defense. He should have some success there. I'm also going to take the Minnesota Vikings, getting the 5.5 points against Kansas City. Can Kansas City win? Absolutely. But I think Minnesota, you don't want Minnesota as a favorite, particularly many times here, but you do like them as a dog at home. I'll take them there. And then I'm going to take Vegas at home on Monday Night Football going up against Green Bay. Vegas hasn't been that good, but if Jimmy Garoppolo comes back, what has Green Bay shown me at all on offense? Nothing here. I'll roll with Vegas in that spot.
You and I believe Flying Illini will be at that game out here in Vegas.
Nice.
That'll
you seen him, Bobby?
Very nice. I have not. You know what? He has not contacted me yet. I'm sure we'll be getting together one day this weekend for lunch or something.
And you know what? Let's do a shout out to Jeannie. Jeannie doesn't have a shout out this week, but the forum is shouting out Jeannie. She's on vacation. We appreciate all the pictures that you're posting.
Yes, we love the pictures.
And, fun vacation.
Where's she at? Where's Jeannie at?
He is down in the Philippines. Yep, very nice.
Yeah, it was like 2 days of traveling though. She was talking about it. She
that was crazy.
Pictures, layovers, multiple flights, but I think she's there now. So hopefully, weather's good. Enjoying the vacation.
Yes. Big shout out to Jeannie. Hopefully, you're having a great time down there. And thanks again for sharing all the pictures. But guys, if you want some baller coins, real quick, make sure you go on and follow us on Twitter at BMR Reviews, on Instagram _BMR_review. Send us a follow on Twitter. Feel free and shoot me a private message since Jeannie will be out for on vacation. If you guys have any questions about that, feel free and reach out to me and get some of those baller coins. But best of luck on all the games, all the playoff action. Donnie, Sammy, best of luck with everything, and we'll see you guys on the forum.
See ya.
See ya.